Hi, I'm Hillary Mulick, a North Carolina wedding photographer, and on today's episode on my YouTube channel, I'm going to be talking about theme days and time blocking. So these theme days is something that I started incorporating into my life and my business about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and it's not something I stick to super strictly, but it's something that's given each day of my week purpose and just kind of a theme on things that I want to accomplish that day. It's also helped me create more of a personal work-life balance so that I don't feel like I'm working all the time and that I still have personal time throughout my week. So I'm gonna go through and just tell you what kind of things that I do, like what themes that I have for every single day of the week, what kinds of things that I accomplish on those days. And then at the end of this video, I'm gonna talk about time blocking and just how I block out times of my day to do batch tasks for my business. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so the concept of theme days is just every single day of the week, I just have a theme of just the types of tasks that I want to accomplish that day. So actually I have these all written down, and it just helps me to collect my thoughts, and it helps me when I'm writing my to-do list so that I can get certain things accomplished on different days. And as we know, batching is a very efficient way to live and accomplish tasks. So this is kind of like the idea of batching my days so that I'm doing like a whole bunch of certain tasks on certain days. So I'm gonna start with Mondays. Mondays, I like to leave for personal tasks, personal errands, answering emails, and doing content creation. So Mondays I don't like to do any shoots because it's right off of the weekend, and usually right off of the weekend I don't like to just like jump into work. I've tried to do that in the past and it hasn't been very successful. So Mondays are now just my content creation days. It's my days to get any personal errands done. I like to do my grocery shopping, run to the post office, do any like outside errands that need to be done. I also have it as my content creation day, so staying home, creating reels, or just planning for future YouTube videos, anything that has to do with content creation in my business, I like to do on Mondays. Tuesdays and Thursdays are my shooting and editing days. I try my best to only schedule sessions on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So that way it's very consistent every single week. Tuesdays and Thursdays are my shoot and edit days. So I'll generally have maybe one shoot that day, either both in the morning and in the evening, or maybe just in the evening, and I'll also have it as my editing days. So I'm like culling and editing on those days, and those are just days where I'm out shooting and working on my computer, working on photos. So those are Tuesdays and Thursdays. Also, designating only 2 days a week for this has really helped with my work-life balance, so that I'm not shooting sessions, or I'm just not accepting sessions on every single day of the week. It's helped my schedule be a lot more predictable, especially, you know, with my husband's schedule and with wanting to schedule personal things. We just always know that Tuesdays and Thursdays are my days that I schedule for shoots, and so that has made it really great as well. Wednesdays are my client management days and also my moving the needle days. So client management, such as going into Honeybook, my client management system, organizing things, creating timelines, sending out proposals, just like anything having to do with client management. I also have Wednesdays as my moving the needle days. So I have done a past video on making my quarterly and annual calendars. They're like these big poster calendars that I have hanging in my office. I'll link that video down below so you can see that. But basically I have something like some project that I'm working on every single month. And so I like to use one day of the week, generally Wednesdays, to work on those projects and move the needle in my business, if you will. So that's what I like to do on Wednesdays. All right, we've already discussed Thursday is my shoot and edit day, and then Friday I also have it listed as a client management day, working on personal projects, or it can just be a personal day. Sometimes Friday nights, me and my husband like to go out to eat or go to the movies or hang out with friends, and so I like to leave Fridays as kind of a fluid day to either work on client stuff or do stuff like for projects, or just have it as a personal day to hang out with friends and family. Saturdays are my wedding days. So most of my weddings, not all of them, because I do occasionally shoot a Friday wedding or a Sunday wedding, but in general, Saturdays are my wedding days where I go and shoot weddings. And so I kind of block those out for weddings. Any Saturdays where I am not shooting a wedding, I don't book any other client work on that day. So I don't do any sessions, I don't check emails over the weekend, I don't do anything having to do with my business on Saturdays. So if I'm not out shooting a wedding, then I generally have a chill day at home, or I plan to, have a day out with friends or family, and that's just kind of what I designate for Saturdays. They're either shooting weddings or not doing any sort of photography work and just focusing on my friends and family. Okay, the last day is Sunday, and Sunday is my day that I go to church, and it's also my day that I just kind of do things in the house to get myself ready for the week. I don't like to go out and run any errands or like go out and do like any sort of work or like errand stuff. I already said errands, but errands on Sundays. So anything that I do on Sundays that isn't church is just like things at home. So I like to do laundry on Sundays. I like to kind of clean up and tidy the house on Sundays and just get it ready for the week. I also like to put in a grocery order on Sundays. I'm all about grocery orders because I hate grocery shopping. That's just something that I really dislike doing, but it has to be done. So on Sundays, since my husband's usually home, we usually get together and make a grocery list, make a menu plan for the week. I'll put in a grocery order to be picked up on Monday, and then because Monday is my running errands day, that's when I go and pick up the groceries. So that's kind of what I do on Sundays, is just going to church in the morning and then spending the rest of the day just laundry, cleaning up, putting in a grocery order, and just chilling with my husband. And that's my week. So those are kind of the themes that I have every single day of just types of tasks that I like to accomplish on those days so I can batch those tasks. Now the next thing I want to talk about is time blocking. I've done a previous video on how to be productive in your day, and this talks about time blocking as well, but I just kind of wanted to incorporate it a little bit into this video since I'm talking about theme days and just like the different tasks that I get done on these days. So with time blocking, generally on these days where I'm like doing work on my computer, whether it's, doing editing and culling on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or doing like client management or content creation or projects on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I usually have like business time on my computer blocked out in the afternoon. So this is generally from like 11 a.m. to 4 p.m., just like somewhere in that period. So that's a 5-hour period that I can time block, like block parts of time and get things done on my to-do list. So I write down my top 3 things that I want to accomplish within my business during this 5-hour period, and I time block sections of that 5-hour period to these tasks so that I make sure that I am getting these 3 tasks done, I'm being productive, and when I'm time blocking these things, I really try and focus all my time into this specific task. So for example, if there's a project that I'm working on and I'm going to designate 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. to do this task, I give my whole heart, mind, and soul into this 2 hours on this task, and as soon as those 2 hours are done, I move on to the next part of my task. And really just my goal is to get like my top 3 things done that I want to do during that time. If I get those 3 things done and I want to accomplish more, great. If I want to end my workday early, great. That's the great thing about being a business owner, is I can call the shots and do whatever I want to do. But that's just how I time block my time while I'm working on my computer so I can make sure I am being my most effective and efficient in my business. So that's it. We talked about my theme days, just the things that I try and accomplish every single day, what the theme of those days are, and then just time blocking. So when I'm in those periods of my day where I am working on my computer on a certain task, I can time block to be my most efficient and effective. If you liked this video, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll see you again next week for another YouTube video. Bye guys.